quarter. Already out of time. Time flies. Waltham leads by a score of 1-0. And Arlington looking to bounce back in this one. Only trailing one, so plenty of time to make something happen. But what started as a great defensive game for Arlington on the front of not allowing Waltham many opportunities at shooting the ball on net turned into quite a scary end of the half for Arlington, giving up a goal and kind of allowing Waltham to get in there and get a couple of opportunities on the offensive side of the ball, while offensively, Arlington's production has been pressured heavily by Waltham. And the Spy Ponders looking to obviously turn that around in the second quarter. But once again, only down one, so not the worst possible scenario for the Spy Ponders. So, once again, my name is Nick Antonakis. I'm the sports producer at ACMi, filling in on commentary today. Hopefully down the line we'll have some more knowledgeable commentators on the sport of lacrosse for you. But regardless, we are here, and I was lucky enough to sit down and talk to many of the Arlington Spy Ponders on the varsity lacrosse squad. Last week during tryouts, we had a chance to talk to head coach David Pocock as well. And if you're looking forward to seeing that at halftime, make sure to stay tuned because we have a full story prepared on this new Arlington High team and the expectations going into this season after losing 18 seniors last year, 7 of which were in the starting lineup for the Spy Ponders. Make sure to stay tuned for that at halftime. So we're going to get going now in the second quarter. Arlington, like I said, down 1-0. These are 12-minute quarters we're playing in, so still plenty of time for the Spy Ponders to work their way back into this one. And I believe it seems like Waltham's going to be starting with the ball. I think number 23 has it right now.
No, I figured it.
That's Christian Renaud. And here we go. Renaud gets it back, drives right into Arlington's end. And Waltham will start things off with an offensive possession of their own. Circling behind the net. Renaud taking his time with it. Pressured there by Jake Kerbel. Waltham maintains spin move. Looks for an opportunity in the middle. Nothing's there. And Waltham still hanging on to it, but some good pressure there up front. And I believe that's going to end in a penalty. And yes, it will, as Arlington regains possession now, driving through the middle of the field. Quick shot on net goes wide. That was number 29, Brian Patterson, taking a shot on goal. He is a junior for the Arlington Spy Ponders, and Saul Gins sends it into Dylan Danucci, and Arlington now sets up on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe looking for a different approach here. Arlington seems to have the middle stacked a lot more than they did in the first, and already given away. That was number 5, Joseph McCulloch, a captain for Waltham, but Arlington not going to give up on this one so easy. They're applying some pressure now in Waltham's ends, but Waltham now looks to be escaping that. Long pass down the field is deflected and trickles down behind Arlington's net. Waltham able to pick it up. And now they will set up for an offensive possession of their own. Sent over. That's Christian Renaud. He's holding on to it, looking for an opportunity. Arlington, I think, is marked up on man coverage right now. As shot in the middle, save by Arcadio. And Waltham able to maintain possession. Arlington's physicality sure dropped off here after the beginning of that first quarter. We saw a lot of nice physical plays from the Spy Ponders in the first couple of minutes of the game. Haven't seen too much of it since, but on this past offensive possession, I'm starting to see a little bit more physicality from Arlington, starting to pick up the pressure and apply some back on Waltham as we move here throughout the game. Trailing, they need that intensity to get back into it. So Lizarabar gets it back, sends it off. That's number 10, Ori Forrest, a freshman for Arlington, who's running it into the Waltham zone on his own. Bounce pass almost taken away, but Arlington maintains possession. That's Abe Donnelly with it, and we get a stoppage of play. And this is going back Waltham's way. Noah Foy starts it off for Waltham, and quick shot in the middle goes wide. Lizarabar might have gotten a piece of it. And a long pass from Arlington. They keep things going now, transitioning back onto the offensive side of things. Brian Patterson. Napelio sends it in. Saul Gins, and that's a good goal for Arlington. Saul Gins able to get the Arlington Spy Ponders on the board. We're tied at 1. Saul Gins, an international lacrosse player. He played with Team Israel last summer, and he gets Arlington on the board here first. We heard from him as part of our interviews, and if you want to check out that full package at halftime, make sure to stay tuned to get a little bit of an update on the new faces on the Arlington Spy Ponders lacrosse squad this year. Also get to hear from head coach David Pocock and get an insight on what the Spy Ponders are expecting this year as they start off hot on offense, losing track of the ball there. They seem to be driving forward with a good amount of pressure, but it's going to be Waltham ball now as Arlington gets a penalty. Jack O'Brien carries up for Waltham. Sends it back, Christian Renaud again. And Waltham will circle. Good rotation so far today from Waltham. They've been pretty effective at finding open space. Arlington looking to lock down a little bit. Looks for an opportunity in the middle. That was number 9, Nico DiCiano, who was unable to find a stick. And Arlington will take back possession. Knotted at 1, 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Lizarabar sends a far pass up the middle, and Arlington looking to work in transition. Liam Ray rotating it around, gets to Will Crotty. Crotty sends it over to Finn Napelio. Napelio closing in. Spin move, back to Crotty, over to the left, and good pressure there by Waltham, forcing Arlington back outside, but Liam Ray sticks with it. Sends it back outside, Crotty. Crotty rotates around the right, sees Gins behind the net, his pass a little bit too far to the right, and Waltham will get the ball back, going back on the offensive side of things. Arlington once again going to press here. Waltham forced to look long, and Arlington capitalizing on the opportunity. They get possession back, odd man rush. Losing track of the ball there, but almost scooped back up by Gins, but Ryan Mullen of Waltham is able to control things and get it back to his goaltender. And that goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Waltham ball. Waltham now pushing past the 50-yard line, now into Arlington's offensive zone. Loops behind the net. Sent off to Perry. Perry looks to get inside, sauces it off, He was looking for DiCiano, but he was unable to control it first. Challenged in the corner. Gains it back. That's Kerbal putting some pressure on physically. And Arlington boys roughing him up behind the net. Looking to get possession back, but Waltham hangs on to it. Centering pass, and a nice physical play there by Kerbal, using his football physique there to get Arlington back on the offensive side of things. Driving up the field fast, opportunity in front. Gins behind the net. He was looking for the top corner, unable to get that one in, and it's going to be Waltham ball. Great move in transition there from Arlington. Started with Kerbal's defensive pressure back in Arlington's end. Rushing it up was Finn Napelio. He was able to sauce it over to Danucci, who found Saul Gins, but Gins was unable to find the back of the net as Arlington keeps possession here and looking to turn this one into points. Shot on goal, doesn't go. Rebound loose in front of the net, and it's covered up by Oligian. Arlington keeping the pressure on. Goaltender loses it. Arlington scrapping away for it, and their offensive pressure has been outstanding here in this second quarter. Almost caught Waltham off guard there. And the Waltham boys lose track of that. That should be Arlington ball going back the other way. Four minutes, 28 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Arlington Spy Ponders tied at 1 with Waltham. Looking to continue here on offense. Napelio sends it back. Now Waltham starting to pressure, but Crotty able to hold on to possession. He's getting bombarded there by 22, Shant Gebyen. Able to rotate it back around, find Napelio. Napelio closes, moves to the middle, rips a shot, and he scores! Finn Napelio, junior captain for the Arlington Spy Ponders, and puts Arlington up now 2-1. What a turn of events here in this second quarter. Oh. As Arlington able to get on the board there once again, break the tie. 2 unanswered from the Spy Ponders. 3 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And make sure for all our viewers, stay tuned. At halftime, we have quite a story prepared for the Arlington Spy Ponders and on their new team this year. 18 seniors graduated the Spy Ponders last year, 7 of which were starters for Arlington. We got to talk to plenty of the new faces on the Arlington Spy Ponders, as well as some of the rising seniors who are taking the charge on this team this year, as well as getting to talk to Coach David Pocock and plenty of others representing the Arlington Spy Ponders this year. So make sure, stay tuned at halftime for that special that we have planned here on ACMi Sports. Arlington now keeping possession. Gins was looking to rip a shot there, top of the net. And that bounces out of bounds, and Waltham will regain possession. Under 3 minutes to go now in the second quarter. Arlington leading 2-1. And once again, Arlington making sure to press Waltham deep in their own end, and they get a turnover there. Dylan Wise under pressure there by Abe Donnelly, and Spy Ponders continuing to pressure there at midfield. Waltham now has possession back. Sammy Rizza sends it around the back of the net for Waltham, as the Waltham boys look to get an equalizer before the end of this second quarter. 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. Renaud under pressure there. Getting shoved off the ball by Brian Patterson. Waltham hangs on to it, however. Evan Cormier rotating it back around. Gets back to Rizza. Rizza to Renaud. Renaud taking his time with it. Looping back around to Wilson. Wilson sends it behind the net, finds Dan. Dan looking to rotate around, find the front of the net. Good pressure there by Will Crotty, who's been all over the field today for the Spy Ponders, and that trickles back to midfield, and we're going to have a timeout. So 2-1 in favor of the Arlington Spy Ponders. We saw goals from Saul Gins as well as Finn Napelio, I believe. Now I'm blanking. Hopefully it was Finn Napelio. If not, I apologize. But regardless, 2 goals from the Arlington Spy Ponders to take the 2-1 lead here at the end of the second quarter. 1:15 left to play in this quarter, so not done yet. Waltham obviously looking for the equalizer. And as I've said before, make sure, stay tuned. Halftime, we have a special report on the Arlington Spy Ponders new lacrosse team. Plenty of new faces for the Arlington Spy Ponders. Some new leaders having to take over for Arlington, as well as some rising stars in the underclass ranks of Arlington. We talked to a couple of prominent leaders on this team and shining stars that have proven in years past that remained after the 18 graduated last year, including 7 starters. We got to talk to them, as well as Coach David Pocock. And that special will be airing right at halftime, so make sure, stay tuned. Halftime. Familiar faces here in Arlington Spy Ponders getting represented then. So, 1:15 left to go. Teams will break from their huddles. And a pivotal end to this first half for both teams, as the Spy Ponders barely lead this one 2-1. It looked quite dim for the Arlington Spy Ponders in that first quarter. They really rampaged back in the second. 2 unanswered goals to put Waltham back on their heels. They just have had a totally different looking to continue this game. And now Waltham getting things going. 1:10 to go. Can they make something happen? DiCiano loops back behind the net. Wilson sends it across. .45 seconds to go. Waltham maintaining possession. Driving to the middle. Perry knocked off the ball. That's going to trickle out of bounds. It's going to stay Waltham ball. The clock is still rolling. Oh, no, they stop it. My fault. Oh, no, it's still rolling. Oh, no, they stopped again. Always on my toes here with lacrosse, a sport I was never able to master, but we're doing it here regardless today. Sent behind the net, Wilson. Oh, and he has the ball knocked away. Arlington regains possession. They're going to look to get a chance. Oh, but losing possession again. And Waltham now has it back. 15 seconds to go. They're going to have one last chance at an opportunity here. Renaud to the middle. Good pressure by Arlington. 5 seconds to go. Waltham looking for a last shot. They don't have much. And disbanded at the last second. Great defensive effort by Arlington to close the half. And now, at halftime, I am so happy to introduce to everybody the great opportunity I had to talk to plenty of the Arlington Spy Ponders on the varsity lacrosse team, as well as Coach Pocock, about the season coming up and the new faces on the varsity lacrosse team for the Arlington Spy Ponders. So we head to that package now. Here we go. Enjoy.
Scott Kelly. Scott, thanks so much for taking the
time. We're going to start off by talking about the season coming ahead. Obviously, you guys are trying to go forth and turn yourselves into more of a
Last year, we really lost to some teams that we shouldn't have because we just didn't show up to play. So getting everybody in the right playing mindset, getting everybody's energy up, and making sure that everybody's doing the right thing out here, standing up for each other, making sure everybody's doing the right thing. Like you said, we're a really young team, so it's really just about bringing everybody together, bringing them a sense of family, getting a community together, because we want this to be a lacrosse town for years to come. So it's really just changing the culture, making sure all of our young guys are prepared to step out on that field side by side.
Yeah, I mean, last year we improved a lot. We made the play-in game. This year we're hoping to get farther into the playoffs and get better record. Got a lot of new players this year, a lot of developing people, so we're hoping to get them going and get our stick work down mostly, yeah.
I mean, I think all the freshmen are grinding hard, getting used to it. It's definitely a lot of running, but we're getting there, and I think we're going to have a good season.
We've got a really young defense this year. We only have one returning senior, Scott Kelly. He's one of my other captains. So we're going to have to coach up those guys a lot, make sure that they're up to snuff and that they can hang with these high school guys because they're not really used to this level. And other than that, with so many new guys coming in, overall, we just want to make sure that the chemistry is good and that everyone's working together. And, you know, that's all we really need. If we put that together, I think we're going to have a great season. We have so much potential with all these younger guys, and really what we're trying to instill in them is a sense of intensity. It's something that we've been working on for the last few years, really making sure that our team plays hard all 4 quarters, and that's the impression that we leave on the opposing teams.
Yeah, it's great. We have a pretty young group out there this year. We graduated a lot of players last year, and the number one thing I look for is a combination of attitude, effort, and intensity. And I think these guys are bringing it, which makes me feel really good. That's something that happens, and the veterans are out there being part of the coaching staff, if you will, and helping on the younger guys. But the energy is really up high, and there's good anticipation to open the season.
So, talking a little bit about all the seniors that graduated last year, I believe it was 18, you said,
Yes.
Also replacing 7 starters this year. What do you kind of hope to see from the boys going into a team that maybe some other teams around the state might seem as like a little bit of a sleeper team? What do you kind of hope to establish as the Spy Ponders?
Yeah, I think, the reality is we do have to get some more seasoning for the players that are coming in to take positions, but we have, I feel, very good athletes that have some experience. They just have to step up this year, and the faster they can do that, the better off we'll be. So that's a matter of time and practice. Just repeat.
So let's talk a little bit about your lacrosse past. Obviously, you played a little bit of international level. You played with Team Israel. You've been playing lacrosse for a long time. Talk to me a little bit about your history playing lacrosse.
Yeah, I started when I was super young. My dad was one of the head coaches of Arlington. I have a brother, Boaz, who I played pretty much my whole life with. And I played for Team Israel last summer, so it was a really fun experience. Been going against my brother 1v1. He plays defense, I play attack, so I've been going against him pretty much 11 years straight, coming down in the field, and it was just always fun, always a battle, but we always came out loving each other.
I've been playing since 7th grade, so I started off a little bit late, but really just I'm so proud of this program, and I'm just really proud of my coaches for being with me like every step of the way. I've had like some of the same coaches since I've started playing, so going into my senior season, I'm just really excited. Put a bow on it, make it look pretty, and I'm ready.
I want to keep my save percentage up. If I can beat Cal's save record this year, that I wouldn't mind that. A little bit of a friendly rivalry with him graduating last year. And other than that, I really hope that we can finish top 4 in our league and hopefully make a bit of a run in the state tournament.
What do you hope to kind of see your players grow into and develop as the season goes on as we push towards the playoffs later in the spring?
Yeah, I think there's lots of different ways to describe success. The most common one is wins and losses. And certainly we came off a winning season last year, so we want to build on what we've started to get going again from last year, which includes getting into the playoffs. I think that would be a huge accomplishment for this year, with such a young squad this year.
You were kind of talking about it earlier. You're hoping to get beyond that 500 point this year. What do you think is the most important aspect going into this season to kind of bring the Arlington Spy Ponders to that point?
No mercy. We can't have any mercy. We have to be going hard on every ground ball. Every single play, we have to be there, and we have to be the one that want it the most.
Yeah, we just got to get hot, win games, win close games too, get the energy up.
I think it's just coming to practice every day, working hard, getting the freshmen involved, getting everyone involved, and have a good season. Grind hard, work hard, show up every day.
Yeah, I think we're going to surprise some people this year. I'm really hoping that we can make a bit more of a mark in our league. The last few years, we've kind of been right on the brink. This year, I think that we've kind of pushed over the edge, and we're really going to be able to make something happen in those standings.
Arlington Spy Partners were doing in the offseason as well as the lead up to this game. A lot of hype surrounding this first game for the Arlington Spy Partners. They currently lead Waltham by a score of 2-1 here at the start of the second half. And here we go off the faceoff. Arlington to regain possession, and they're trying to drive into Waltham's end. Sent over to Donnelly. Donnelly, and a whistle stopping play. And it's going to look to be Waltham's ball. That's unfortunate for Arlington. A little bit of an earthquake happening with the with the game mic, but it's okay. And that's going to stay Waltham's ball in Arlington's end. A very close game here between these two teams. Waltham started off with a chokehold over the Arlington Spy Partners at the beginning of that first quarter. But in the second quarter, Arlington were able to turn things around, really make a push here. And another great play there by Arlington as they drive back the other way quickly. Moving through the neutral zone, Arlington looking to have an odd man rush, 4-on-3. Waltham finally gets some defenders back, but Arlington keeping the pressure on. Donnelly holds it near the 30. Looks for reinforcements. Nothing really open in the middle. Waltham has that clogged, but Donnelly moves to his left looking for a chance. Tries to make a move to the middle, doesn't see anything. Circles behind the net, that's Saul Gins. Gins over to his right, and Arlington now rotating it around nicely. Liam Ray, stick handles, holds on to it. Crotty continues to rotate it around. Crotty gets it back, and he looks for Ray and gets it to him. Ray with speed, back to Crotty. Arlington slowly closing in, but some good pressure there by Waltham to force Crotty back outside of the 40. Move to the middle, thrown in, and Saulgin scores! 3-1 Arlington with 9:54 remaining here in the third quarter. A great play there by the Spy Partners, and they've really turned up the heat since that second quarter. Gins with his second goal of the game, and he was a bit gassed up after that one as Arlington extends their lead to 2. 9 minutes, 54 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and Waltham now in some trouble, down 2 goals. But still plenty of time for any Waltham fans out there watching to hope something turns their way. But Arlington in full control right now, and seems that the ball was deferred to them off the faceoff. Must have been something illegal on Waltham's part, but Donnelly gets it back, and Arlington looking to work the offensive game again. Just getting chopped there non-stop was number 22, Liam Ray, by actually number 22 on Waltham. That's Sean Gabayan. He's been a very physical player for Waltham as it circles back behind the net. Saul Gins. Gins, as we saw at halftime, he had a brother who was playing at Arlington High last year. Saul Gins is actually lucky enough to work with both Gins brothers at Jimmy Steerhouse here in Arlington. Saul has unfortunately moved on, but Boaz should be back in the spring when he comes back from Florida. He's currently at college in Florida, so look forward to being reunited with the Gins family and Jimmy's. But until then, Saul tearing things up here on the lacrosse field. Now Waltham traveling through the middle. Great chance there by Kevin Dan. And oh, hit off the ball hard there by Jake Kerbel. And speaking of Jimmy's, Jake Kerbel, another fellow Jimmy's employee. He's a junior for the Arlington Spy Ponders, and he heads to the bench after making a huge hit and turning things back over for the Spy Ponders. Now Brian Patterson with some speed driving in. He's dispossessed, and Waltham looks to turn things around back the other way. Slips through the stick of Kevin Dan, and that should be Arlington's ball. Number 8, Scott Kelly, a senior captain for the Arlington Spy Ponders to start things off, and that now trickles through the middle. That gets to number 22, Liam Ray. Ray chucks it behind the net. He was looking for Gins, too high, but speaking of Scott Kelly earlier, he's one of the only remaining defenders from last year on this year's squad, obviously serving as a senior captain. We heard a little bit from him in our halftime package. He has been playing lacrosse since 7th grade and looking to continue and help Arlington here in his senior year as they look for glory driving into the playoffs. Still a long way to go till then, as we're at the surface of the iceberg here on the Spy Ponders lacrosse season. Tip of the iceberg, I should say. Can't speak. But Waltham now searching for the ball. Arlington, great physical effort there. Chopped off once again. Great pressure there, but Waltham still hanging on to it. And a little bit of chipping there between number 16 on Waltham. Jason Duradorian, senior captain for Waltham. And unfortunately, that's going to end up in the ball going back Arlington's way. If you're Waltham, that's unfortunate. But 6 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Arlington leads 3-1, and they look to build on their lead here. Ooh, Crotty chopped, but maintains possession. Still getting whacked. Circles back around to Gins. Gins throws it long for Ray. Ray looks to go into the inside. Napelio. Napelio looks in the middle and he scores! Saul Gins with the hat trick. Third goal of the game. And Arlington now up 4-1. Saul Gins tearing up the field right now for the Arlington Spy Ponders. 5 minutes, 58 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And Arlington, what seemed to be in the first quarter, a very wishy-washy game for the Spy Ponders. As we look at the replay here, Gins just has it perfectly thrown to him in the middle, and that's his third goal of the game. Off the face-off. Tied up in the middle. Ball trickles back. Arlington regains possession. Pressured from all sides is Liam Ray. He tosses it off, unable to get it to number 4, Dylan Danucci. He's a freshman for the Arlington Spy Ponders. And now Waltham setting up on the offensive side of things, looking to climb their way back into this one, down 3. Waltham pressured there by Arlington defenders, driving to the middle, and a shot on net and a goal. That's number 23, Christian Renaud. And he's able to give Waltham some hope. Brings them within 2. What a shot there by Renaud. So a great opportunity there and a great capitalization by Waltham. Bring them within 2 of the Arlington Spy Ponders. And now on the face-off, tied up, and it looks like Waltham has it. Arlington, though, not giving up, trying to push it back the other way, and it's scooped up by number 20, Will Crotty, and Arlington gets possession back. Now, despite being up 2, I mean, giving up a goal there, Arlington doesn't want to let down the heat offensively whatsoever. There's still plenty of time left to play in this one and for Waltham to climb back into it. So Arlington definitely wanted to keep up that pressure as Donnelly tries to find some help. It got to Napelio, but a whistle flies, and that's going to be a Waltham ball. And Arlington now looking to capitalize where they do best on the offensive pressure, but swerving through was number 5, Joseph McCulloch, but it's actually going to be a turnover thanks to the penalty, and Arlington gets it back. Napelio closes, fires, and that goes wide, but a flag flies. Now, what this is, I don't know, unfortunately, but I have a mix of a hockey and a football brain here, and if it was me judging it, I would have had about 40 slashing calls already because that's all they do, and the flag flies, suggests that there's something off with positioning or something, but regardless, it's going to be Arlington's ball. We do have a YouTube chat, actually, back in the studio, so if anybody wants to type in the chat what that was, go for it. My guys back at the studio will let me know. I have plenty of help in the studio today. Kai Hare on graphics, Jack Magoon on replay, Nazar Bukulov directing, and Jasper Hamilton producing today with me in the booth, along with our camera crew here with Ruhan and Luke, as well as Jeff Monroe, our tech manager, making it all come together. So a huge thank you to them and everybody at ACMi for helping make this possible. Arlington looking to keep things going on the offensive side. Quick opportunity, and what a pass, and what a goal. Saul Gins with his 4th of the game. And what a play by Arlington. I mean, if we have a replay of that, God bless us, because that would be great. If not, that's okay, but we do. Here comes the replay. Saul Gins, what a great pass, better shot, and Arlington now up 3 once again. And now Arlington on the face-off. 5-2 they lead. And a travel? Getting some impacts from every sport here. We have a travel like basketball. There's slashing like in hockey, except they don't call it. Flags like in football. Soon they're going to be hitting home runs here on the Red Sox opening day. So with 2:58 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Arlington leads 5-2. We're going to restart, and again a whistle. What's it this time? They're just going to call it Arlington's ball. So Will Crotty to keep it up for Arlington, and sauced off to Donnelly. Donnelly looks to loop behind the net. Looking for help from Gins, who's perched behind the net at all times. Sends it across. Arlington rotating it around nicely now. Napelio taking his time with it at the 40. Up 3. You don't want to drain the clock too much, so take your time with things. Looking for Gins. Gins tries to scoop it. Batted to the 20 by Waltham, but Arlington regains possession. Searching for Gins again behind the net. It's deflected. Sent through the middle. Napelio hangs on to it. Fires. He was actually looking for Donnelly there, but he was unable to grasp it. And it's going to be Waltham ball going back the other way. under 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Arlington up 5-2. Saul Gins with 4 goals on the day for the Arlington Spy Ponders. And some more offensive pressure there by Arlington. That's been a problem for Waltham all day, trying to get the ball out of their own ends. And they do so by just chucking it down, and they're actually able to regain possession. They're going to try and set up here and rotate. Sentence in the middle. He was looking for Dylan Perry, who lost control. Kerbal pressuring there. Ball trickles out to midfield, still loose. Brought in by Joseph McCulloch. And a whistle. And we got a timeout. Waltham, I'd assume. So Waltham down 3 with 1:17 to go here. Arlington with a huge shift in events from what that first quarter looked like. A very iffy first quarter for the Arlington Spy Ponders. The second quarter, they revitalized that physical game that we saw from them at the start, the very beginning of the contest. And that kind of faded out in the first quarter, but they brought it back in the second. They were able to apply some fantastic pressure on Waltham when they were in their own ends, get some turnovers, and turn those turnovers into points as Waltham's defense was worn out. And the more that happened, the more Arlington was able to find some slots in the middle, most of which were consumed by Saul Gins, who has 4 goals so far here today. So with 1:17 to go in the third quarter, Arlington looking to keep it up and continue to have, Waltham put on their heels as, let me check on that mic that I hear noises. That's okay. Okay, they're gone. I think we have the JV team in the stands. So I'm going to adjust that a little bit so nobody at home is getting bombarded with noise. But overall, a competitive contest between these two teams. Waltham, you know, they're down 3, but they proved to be a very effective team at the start of this one. They've lost their track a little bit, but there's still time, still 12 minutes after this quarter, and still 1:17 to play here in the third. So still time to make something happen. It's only 3 goals, so never want to rule that out if you're Arlington, and make sure you keep the pressure up and try to suppress this Waltham team as much as possible. Because they proved at the start of the game they're able to get some quick opportunities and really wear down your defense. So the more Arlington can keep the ball on the offensive side of the field, the better off their defense will be. As we're back here at the game. There we go. Waltham ready and set up to go. And let's see how their offensive game plan changes after that extended timeout. Shot on goal, save by Lizarabar. And Arlington quickly transitions back the other way. Kerbal with the spin move. Gets passed into the offensive zone. Hard to be physical on Kerbal, a football player, as I said. And, you know, that steak from Jimmy's keeping him fueled. And Arlington now setting up offensively once again, rotating it around. Thrown up top, lost control of it there. Waltham looks to scoop it back up, but Arlington keeps it alive. Sent back to the 35, and Arlington regains possession. That's Napelio. 25 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Arlington looking for this to be the last shot of the quarter. Napelio under pressure, cuts it into the middle, fires on net, save. Rebound is loose in front. Arlington keeps it. Another shot on net. That one bounces above the top post. 5 seconds left, and I think it's going to stay Arlington ball. So they'll have 5 seconds. Let's see what they can do. Not much time. Trying to make something happen here. Liam Ray in the middle, shot on net, doesn't go, and that's going to close out the quarter. But regardless, Arlington with a great offensive effort there to close things out. We head to the fourth with Arlington in front 5-2. And what a game it's been so far. Let's see what we have for highlights. Arlington obviously able to pack on some extra points there in that third quarter. We take a look here at Ginz's goal. He was able to get it right in front. Great pass. And now we have Ginz again here. Has it sauced to him right in the middle. And he scores. And who but for this third goal to bring Waltham back into it a little bit. That was number 23, Christian Renaud. And then who but Saul Ginz once again for Arlington to extend the lead back up to 5-2. And then here the closing moments of the period. We saw a great save there by the goaltender for Waltham. That was number 7, Jack Oligian. So 12 minutes to go in this one with the fourth quarter ahead of us. Waltham with some time to make something happen, but obviously, you know, not all day. Only 12 minutes to try and work their way back into this one, down 3 goals. So Arlington looking to keep the pressure on offensively. They've proven that that's been their key to success here so far today. And the more they can apply that pressure, the less time they give Waltham on the offensive side of the ball, the better off they'll be. As we've seen that that's been extremely effective for Arlington so far here today. As Arcadio Lizarabar, the senior goaltender and captain for the Arlington Spy Ponders, has been pretty great for the Arlington Spy Ponders so far here today. He's made a couple of pivotal saves on top of his defense playing extremely well in front of him. He's had a couple of tough opportunities faced against him, especially earlier in the game. He was able to keep Arlington close in this one when they were down 1-0. He had to make a couple great saves there at the start of the game to turn things around and keep Arlington into it. And we saw that that paid off as Arlington went on to score a couple of unanswered goals and seized the lead back, and they've just extended it ever since. So now on the face-off, Waltham chips it into Arlington's end. That finds Kerbel's stick on Arlington. He just drives through 2 players and drives it back into Arlington's end for some offensive possession. Arlington stays set up. Danucci loops around behind the net. Has Ginz. He finds him. Ginz sends it back to Napelio. Napelio doing a good job working it around and gets back to another Arlington defender on the other end. Sauce behind the net for Ginz. Ginz looking to loop around in front. He's pressured. Back in front. Another pass off. Finds Napelio, but he's dispossessed. And Waltham looks to drive back the other way, but Arlington not surrendering. Napelio lost his stick, and Waltham now charging back the other way, withstanding the pressure. Opportunity now in front, and they score! Nico DiCiano for Waltham, just over a minute into this fourth quarter. Turned things around for Waltham, brings them within 2, 5-3 now we stand. And obviously, it was nothing really on Arlington's part there. It was just a great transition play, as this is the save from the second half that was highlighted by Arlington. But unfortunately, unable to get a hold of it there was Dylan Danucci. Oh, no, excuse me. Arcadio Lizarabar, excuse me, as he was rarely letting one pass him there for his Waltham's 3rd goal of the game. And now Waltham once again charging back, looking to keep things going offensively. Kerbel turns on the heat, but gets to number 24, Zach Wilson. Wilson hanging on to it. Taking his time, rotates it around. Waltham in a more comfortable spot now, only down 2 with 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in this one. Renaud looks to close in. Nothing open in the middle. Tries to sauce off a pass. It goes nowhere but out of bounds. And Arlington able to get this one back. Great defensive structure there by Arlington once again. They've proven to be doing that all day, and they keep it up there. So now Arlington in their own ends. DiCiano applying some pressure, and it's almost taken away, but Napelio's there to scoop it up for the Spy Ponders and move it into Waltham's end. Napelio under pressure. Switches the fields. Arlington now looking to rotate it around. Ground shot doesn't go. Rebound bounces in front. Waltham able to retain, and they look for a long ball down the other way. They don't want to get stuck in their own end, as that's been Arlington's lethal point all day. DiCiano dishes it off to Dan. Dan under pressure there on that right side. Hangs on to it. Renaud gets it. 8:55 to go in the game. Renaud closing. Spin move, has some space, fires, and that one doesn't go. Got tipped in front, so that's going to stay Waltham's ball, as Lizarabar got a good piece of it to keep that one out of the back of the net, but Waltham maintains possession. Diradorian, one of the captains for Waltham, hangs on to it. Tries to send it across, but it's broken up by Arlington. Ball trickles to the sideline, and Arlington looking to recover and regain possession, but Waltham not giving up the fight for it. Arlington let it go, but it's actually going to be Waltham's ball. A little bit of frustration there from Scott Kelly. I think he thought it was going back the other way, but regardless, they stay suited up on defense. Kelly with some pressure, and that's going to be a flag. Whole Waltham bench was calling for it. They are going to get it. Thrown across, gets over to Diradorian. Renaud under pressure. So I believe this is just like an advantage thing, kind of like soccer. So once it changes possession, then the wind will blow. Or will it? As Arlington unable to get it yet, but they almost do. Physical play there near the 40-yard line as the two teams chop away at it. And Waltham still maintaining possession. Diradorian. Physical play there, keeps it up. Tries to drive to the middle. He's still hanging on to it. Kerbal chopping away, and that pass trickles out, and it's kept in bounds, but he's shoved out by number 29, Brian Patterson. So a good showing there by Waltham, but Arlington maintains strength in the end, as I believe it was Scott Kelly who got the flag, and now he's subbed out. So yeah, Waltham will maintain possession because of the flag. Starting to catch on here, folks, as to how this works. And I think Kelly has to take a break on the bench. If not, hopefully he's not out for the whole game or something. I believe you got to have more than one foul to go out, but let's see. Regardless, Waltham maintains possession. Rotating it around the back of the net. DiCiano. Trickles there. Unable to get a grasp. Waltham rotating around, closing in on Arlington's net. Renaud sends it over, gets it back. Renaud looking to shoot, but doesn't have a lane. Sent it to the middle in Lizarabar with a great save for Arlington, but it's going to stay Waltham's ball. Waltham really giving Arlington a run for their money here. 6 minutes, 19 seconds remaining, and they still have possession. They've had like 4 minutes of offensive zone time now. Sent on net, save again by Arcadio, and he gets it back. He's going to toss it out on his own to midfield, but Arlington unable to maintain possession. Goes back the other way for McCulloch. He sends it in to Dan. Dan now with possession. Looks to fire on net, but decides otherwise. Sends it back to Evan Cormier. Now it gets over to Renaud. Cormier. Dan gets it back. But Arlington not giving Waltham a chance at a shot. They try there, but it doesn't go. It's going to stay Waltham ball again. 5 minutes, 26 seconds remaining. Arlington up 2. Dan cuts in front. He scores! In transition, Dan has a great opportunity there. And with 5 minutes, 17 seconds remaining, Kevin Dan brings Waltham within 1. So Arlington went from having a very comfortable lead before to this being a 1-goal game. We see Dan come in from out of bounds right off the face-off, or the possession change there. He's able to just carry it right in front of the net and put it top shelf. And Arcadio can only be pressured for so long. Arlington had the ball in their own end for about 6 minutes. So now on face-off, it's going to be a pivotal face-off for Arlington as they look to scoop it up and get it back the other way. But now Waltham regains possession. Jack O'Brien with some speed charging forward. Gets it back to Dan. We see Kerbal shifted back into the middle. I think he was subbed out before. And now taken in by number 23, Christian Renaud. Renaud under pressure. Throws it back. Shot on net, that goes wide, and that should be Arlington, no. So I don't know, I mean, I might be missing a rule here. I mean, it might not have to bounce off Arlington to go out of bounds, because I could have sworn that 1 or 2 of these did not go off Arlington, but maybe they are and I just can't see. But regardless, it's a centering pass. Just gets through everybody's sticks there, and Scott Kelly charges for it. He's able to try and get possession back, but Waltham ends up retaining. That's DiCiano with the ball now. Loops around behind the net. Looking for an opportunity in front, it doesn't go. DiCiano regains possession now around the 10-yard line. 4 minutes to go. Waltham down 1. Renaud makes a move, drives in the middle. Stick chopped out of his hands. That's illegal. So Arlington now goes back the other way. Wow, what a sport lacrosse is. Now good ball movement, shot on net, save. Rebound goes to the outside. That's Saul Gittens trying to regain possession for Arlington. And he's unable to get there. Arlington, though, with some support to help him out, trying to run to the ball, but Waltham now chipping it ahead. Gets to McCulloch. He's pressured around the 40, but continues in. Flag flies. Into the middle, shot on net, save by Arcadia Lizarabar. And the flag is what? Is it a penalty shot? I hear the fans saying penalty shot. And the Waltham bench is jumping, so this might be a penalty shot. 3 minutes, 4 seconds remaining here in the game. I don't think it is a penalty shot. It doesn't look to be a penalty shot, because Arlington still has people set up in the middle. And no, it's not. Waltham will just keep possession. Here we go, under 3 minutes to go. Waltham only down 1. Arlington had a good chance offensively back the other way. And oh, this one bounces out of bounds. This would be pivotal. And it does. That's going to be Arlington ball. And Arlington now with possession, going back the other way. Waltham's not going to give Arlington any room to breathe in their own end. That's number 8, Scott Kelly, the captain. Tries to sauce it out. That's a dangerous ball to the middle, but Arlington able to get it. Donnelly pushes forward. Oh, and he's decked. And there's, okay, a flag flies. All right, all right. I was about to say, I'm like, what is legal and what is not legal in this sport? I mean, there's got to be some, some discipline. So I think that is going to go back the other way. But I'm surprised before when Arlington knocked that Waltham player's stick out of his hand. I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty. Maybe they saw that he, like, dropped it, something I didn't see, but very interesting. Very interesting. But regardless, it's going to be Arlington's ball now as Donnelly got absolutely decked around the 40, and there's going to be a timeout with 2 minutes 16 remaining. Arlington went from up 5-2 to making this a 5-4 game thanks to Waltham's late push here in the fourth quarter. And it's been a very much a very back and forth game. Things started off hot for Waltham. They were able to get on the board first in the first quarter. From there, we just pushed forward. Arlington was able to score 2 unanswered. Turn that into 3. Waltham pushed back a little bit more throughout the second quarter and into the third, but Arlington was able to build on their lead. And we're just going to roll some highlights. Let's look at this we got slow-mo of this play here. Okay, so he got his stick knocked out of his hand, and then he was hit afterward. So I think that's what the problem is here. This is outstanding technology by Jack, our replay guy. So shout out to Jack. So he has the stick knocked out of his hand. That's the legal part. But the illegal part comes there from number 15, Joseph Johnson. So Joseph Johnson was the one assessed with the penalty. Thank you to Jack and our replay crew back in the oh-so-warm studio back in the Red Gym of Arlington High School, where I'm used to being. But today I am out in the cold commentating. Thank you, Jasper. So 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in this ever-so-close contest between the Arlington Spy Ponders and Waltham High School. And regardless, Arlington, they're going to get possession, I'd hope, around the 40. So let's hope. After we saw that slow-mo hit to the head by Joseph Johnson on Abe Donnelly. We hope Donnelly's okay. He seemed shaked up after the play, but shooken up, I should say. I can't speak today. But he's okay. As I think, yes, I think he's back on the field there over there on that left side. So Arlington will get possession. Finn Napelio will start with the ball for the Spy Ponders around the 30-yard line. And here we go. 2 minutes, 16 seconds to play. And Napelio tries to make a move. He moves to the middle, still has possession. Sauced off there. Shot on net doesn't go. And now Waltham's going to get what they want. They're going to get an opportunity to go back the other way. I'm surprised Arlington went for something there. But Saul Gins with some pressure. Napelio there with him as well. And Arlington going to do what they've done all day. Offensive pressure. But Waltham able to escape. Kulik in the middle. He loses possession. And that actually flew over the net. It's going to be Arlington ball. 1:44 to go in this one. So Waltham, I wouldn't be surprised if they really try to press on the Spy Ponders here as Arcadio is pressured there. And Arlington looking to move things up past midfield now. Napelio under some pressure, hangs onto the ball. Arlington now setting up the rotation. They're up 1. This is what they want to do. Napelio hangs onto it. Chopped away. Waltham looking to get it back. A sea of red in the middle. And whistle blows. Arlington ball. So Arlington's going to keep possession. 1:04 left to go. Arlington up 1. It's 5-4. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arlington tries to just wear down the clock here a little bit. Try and make it more difficult for Waltham to have another chance. Napelio hangs onto it. Waltham with some good pressure. Napelio cuts in the middle, has some space, tries to pass it off. I thought he had the shot opportunity there, and it's going to be Waltham's ball. 49 seconds to go. Waltham has another chance. So for sure Arlington has to be trying some pressure here. And yes, we see them setting up for it. McCulloch throws it up that right side. And now Waltham able to move past midfield. 40 seconds to go. Can they make something happen? In that back corner, Luke's around the back of the net. 32 to play. Nice rotation there by Waltham. Gets over to Renaud. 25 seconds to go. Renaud holds on to possession. Arlington with some good defense. Thrown into the middle. Chopped at by Arlington. The ball's loose. Is Arlington able to get it? They get it back. Arlington looking to go back the other way. 10 seconds to go. Not much time. This could ice it. Arlington, are they going to look for a goal? They do, and they score! Adding insult to injury, that's number 5. Carter Houseman, a freshman for the Arlington Spy Ponders. Set up by Saul Gins in the waning seconds of the game. 2 seconds to play, and Arlington delivers the final nail in the coffin of Waltham. Let's see this. Great move in transition. Saul Gins sauces it right into the middle for Houseman, and he scores his first of the season. I would assume that's his first career varsity lacrosse goal, as he is a freshman. So congrats to Houseman, scoring his first career regular season goal for the Arlington Spy Ponders. And with 2 seconds to go, that's going to run out the clock. Arlington able to come away with the win by a score of 6-4. And a heartbreaker for Waltham as they look to be climbing back into that one, but unfortunately unable to get that final boost needed to bring this game to a tie. Instead, Arlington able to get another goal to make this one a 2-goal lead for them. The final score sitting at 6-4. Arlington with an outstanding first game of the season. Despite the new faces, despite the new stars, Arlington prevails, getting a huge win to kick off their season. So with that, I want to thank everybody at ACMi as we'll take a look at these last couple of highlights from today. We saw these Arlington Spy Ponders with plenty of chances to start the game. As we saw in that first quarter, it was a bit of a struggle for the Arlington Spy Ponders. Waltham, though, wasting no time to get things going with that physicality, as we saw there. That's number 9, Nico DiCiano. And we had an outstanding comeback there in this second quarter, as we can see here. Arlington was able to start putting together some cleaner passes, getting some more opportunities. Napelio's goal is there, as we saw. Saul Gins with 4 goals on the day for the Arlington Spy Ponders, and we really started to see in that second quarter, as we saw there on that replay, some more defensive effort from the Arlington Spy Ponders that turned things into offense. We saw there another great takeaway, turning it back the other way on the field. And Arlington was able to just keep things going and turn that into offense. As we can see here, Saul Gins with another snipe to the back of the net. This started Napelio behind the net. He found Gins in the middle, who just ripped that one in the back of the goal. Gins had 4 goals on the day here today. But as we saw, Waltham not giving up. They fought back towards the middle of this game. They were able to keep things close. But as we moved into the third quarter, Waltham continued to give up some offensive opportunity, and Saul Gins continued to score goals. Arlington kept the pressure going, but the goaltender for the Arlington, Waltham boys, Jack Oligian, was able to keep things going for Waltham and keep them okay. But as we saw here in the fourth, Waltham went on a huge stretch and was able to get a great amount of opportunities, as we can hear some screaming here in the background, unfortunately. But regardless, Waltham tried to bring this game back, but Arlington was able to close things out. So thank you on behalf of ACMi. My name is Nick Antonakis. We will see you here next time with ACMi Sports.